So, this is kind of an unusual. It's not really much of a rant. It's just more of a um, explaining some things about my channel and about some of the training I've been doing. So, if you don't know a lot about me, I've been into fitness for many years. I've been into self-defense and martial arts for some years, and I recently have really been focusing on conditioning my bones, conditioning my knuckles, shins, elbows, palms, the ridge of the hand, individual knuckles. Um, I wonder if I should go into more like the science of it. The science of it basically is that if you're doing any type of combat sport or you're in any type of fight, even if it's a real fight, like a street fight, just a random brawl or whatever, like you want your bones to be very strong. You want your The thing is, people often don't break their knuckles in fights. They don't break their shins in fights often. It actually doesn't happen a lot. It actually seems, in my opinion, to happen more high levels of like sport fighting. Because it's the people are so strong and so intense and precise, and obviously, like, I don't know if any of you guys watch any MMA fights or anything, but if you know who Anderson Silva is, look at how someone like Anderson Silva, who has very developed, conditioned bones on his shins, got his shin broken because someone simply just shielded. I think when he went to throw a kick, I don't think they kicked and broke his actual shin. I think he may have shielded. I may be wrong, but I think that's what happened. I think he just shielded, and they kicked in. They shielded. He kicked, and it broke his shin. So if you look back and you think of like certain martial arts styles, like I think even kung fu, karate, Muay Thai, everybody trains their bones. We all train our bones. Okay. Bare knuckle boxing. Boxing really condition. It does condition your knuckles, but there's the difference with bare knuckle is you don't have the padding of gloves, so it's a little bit different. So I've been focusing on training my bones, and I hit trees really. I don't have like a heavy bag to hit. So, and I think a heavy bag actually does condition your bones. Some people think, oh well, no, you're just hitting a heavy bag. It's about you're trying to get your all your power into it. Maybe you're trying to set up realistic combinations when you're hitting the bag. It's not just about that. You have to think when you hit anything. I don't care if you're slapping a fucking I don't care if you're slapping a bag of rice. Okay, if you're slapping a bag of rice, your hand from slapping that thing so hard over enough time is going to really condition your hands. And when you go and slap somebody across the face with your hand, it's a totally different feeling. It's not going to be like you just got slapped by some bum who's just sits around all day. And now, naturally, some people have harder bones and heavier hands and harder, more conditioned bones, but just naturally. But when you really train it, I'm telling you, there's a difference. There's a difference. And I could literally demonstrate this. I could tell someone, okay, I'm going to hold my hand in this position, right? And I want you to punch my knuckles to yours, bone to bone, and see who pulls away first, right? Now, I'm telling you that there's a difference. And depending on who you are, if you have brittle hands or you have brittle bones or you have like no training or you're like just a very feeble weak person, you will tell in seconds the difference. Okay, so that's why you should train. I guess if you're into martial arts or into any self-defense or combat sports, you should condition your bones. So what I'm gonna do is when I can get someone to be like the camera person, I'm going to show how I condition my bones. I'm going to show how. Because I figure, it's not that hard for someone to hold a camera. You know what I mean? And I don't think I'm going to be able to use the camera I bought. I brought this camera that's called Canon. That the name says Canon on it. I don't know what that means, but it just says Canon. It's a camera. But I think the hookup, the HDMI cord that I need to like transfer things to this computer, it didn't come with that. And I don't think it came with the. I honestly believe that you have to use that cord to charge it as well. So the thing that sucks is I have not been able to charge it. So if you see me with a video out that's showing how I condition my bones um, for martial arts, then like it's probably going to be shot on like a camera phone, honestly. So don't get all or a webcam. I do have an actual nice kind of like more professional, high tech webcam. So I might even. I'm trying to see. Could I use? If I use that, I'd have to bring them. Yeah. So I'm not going to use that. Okay. So scratch that. Because most likely this is going to be done at a park, and I'm going to be hitting either like a baby tree that is very thin, or I'm going to be hitting something very big, like a big tree, which has a lot more surface area, and it's more about strictly the conditioning, not so much precision. Now, I don't know if maybe you don't know what precision is, but I'll put it to you like this. Precision is this. Precision is aim. Precision is being precise. Precision is the difference between, let's say you're trying to hit someone squarely on the chin, okay? Maybe you're not going for a knockout, but you want to check that chin. You want to tag the chin. You want to get them dizzy. You want to get them off balance. Okay, so you keep trying to catch that, catch the chin. So it's a different type of strike. And the thing about knuckles is a lot of times, believe it or not, this is gonna sound crazy, but when you're very precise, a lot of times you end up, and it's a small surface area, you may only end up hitting with 1 to 2 knuckles. So think of this. Think of your punching power and all your weight behind it landing on a small surface. You could potentially break your knuckles or fracture your knuckles. You know what I mean? So when you're hitting, or at least me, when I'm hitting something thin like that, like a baby tree, it's not that thick. You know what I mean? It's really not that thick. Um, like it's more a little bit thicker than a broom, like kind of a lot thicker than a broom, but it's really a little bit thicker than a fucking broomstick. So the way I'm hitting it, sometimes I miss. You know what I mean? Like I'll miss. Number one, because like I'm not hitting with a bunch of power because I would break my freaking knuckles. What do I look like, a robot to you? Know this is to condition my knuckles so they get more formidable and harder over time. You know, to the point to where I may be able to break a small um surface area, like something that's very small. You know what I mean? Like it could be someone's nose. You know what I mean? It could be someone's jaw. It could be someone's nose. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, just broken. Like my knuckle just a little bit swollen, maybe a little bit sore, maybe not even. A whole opposed to a whole, broken nose hanging like to the side and shit. That's the same thing with like the hammer fist. A lot of times, what'll happen is I'll notice I'll go for a strike, like just a conventional. It's usually like a hook or something, and I'll miss. I'll miss that hook, but then I'll come back with like this ridge of the hand, or I'll come down. I'll notice that I'll come back down with a hammer or with a palm. I'll come back instead of a hook with like the palm, because the thing is, I know as I'm doing this type of training, this conditioning, I notice when my knuckles really can't take anymore. I notice when like I've hit that tree enough times to where it's like, Steve, you're gonna fracture your knuckle. This is training. This is conditioning. This is not you're an idiot. Let's just think you're a super tough guy and fucking break your hand. So sometimes you come back with a palm. You know what I mean? Because my palms can take a lot more. Like when I slap that tree, you feel that tree shake. You hear that whack. You know what I mean? It sounds hard. Like you can hear, because that's my palm. My palm can take that. My knuckles will not, can't take that. Sorry. Maybe some of you guys out here are so so fucking adept and experienced that you can hit that hard and not break your damn hand, not break your knuckles, but not me. So I just, it's hard to describe if you know nothing about martial arts or nothing about conditioning. Um, the knuckles especially. Now with the shins, the thing is I usually hit the shins different levels. Like I go lower to higher, and I hit with different levels of my shin, like higher to lower. Um, and then I'll switch back to the knuckles. You see what I'm saying? Like I switch back and forth because it's training. It's training safe. You never want to overdo it and injure yourself. Now, some people think you have to injure yourself to train something. That's not how it works. You could go years without ever actually having a fracture or a serious injury if you just train safe and you pace yourself and you understand your limits. Okay, so that's my rant. And if I do video like that, which most likely I will, it's just a matter of me getting someone to have the camera. Because I don't know how I'm gonna have, like, how am I supposed to videotape myself without a real, my proper camera in a tripod. So when I do this video, I'm going to put it in the what's the playlist? I believe the playlist is all play and no work or something like that. It's gonna be in that playlist. It's not gonna be in a rant playlist. It's not gonna be, because this is recreational, so it's not gonna be in like a rant playlist or a gaming playlist. It's not. It's gonna be in the that playlist. Okay, like I think it's called all work and no play or something. So that's my rant. Um, I mean, I did do like some climbing today too. Like I climbed, and then after I climbed, and I honestly I did pull ups in between. After in between the conditioning, the shins and the knuckles, I did pull ups in between. Okay, so that's what I did today on a Saturday. Um, Honestly, I think I'm gonna eat right now because I had to walk all the way to the park and walk back to do that crap. Because it was the best spot to do it. I'm really grateful. I got bit by some mosquitoes, but I didn't get eaten alive like usually. So I guess that's the rant. That's the end of it, and have a nice day.